be used. Copies of Weatherby detail drawings for the EPSI 15 system should also be obtained to ensure all details are correctly installed. Before applying external wall insulation directly to a masonry or rendered surface, brush down the substrate to remove any friable material, algae or lichen, and, where required, apply Weatherby's biocidal wash in preparation for the new works. Any full-depth surface profiles should be firmly attached and a suitable base rail installed at approximately 150 mm above ground level. Take care not to bridge the damp-proof course. The base rail profile type is determined by the insulation thickness and should be installed at a maximum of 300 mm centres and 50 mm from each end, using approved Weatherby fixings. Where verge trims are required, these must be installed in accordance with the Weatherby specification, including a sealing tape and silicone sealant to ensure the system is protected. The verge trim must be cut and bent into place at the gable apex to prevent an exposed joint at this point. Insulation boards are fixed in a staggered bonding pattern, with one temporary fixing installed in the centre of each board to hold them in place. Continue to place additional boards, ensuring a staggered laying pattern is adhered to, with all boards interleaved at external corners. The protruding edge can be easily trimmed using a saw. Bedding adhesive may be required to level the boards and ensure the insulation is plain. All boards must be tightly butted together to eliminate thermal breaks, with door and window openings easily formed by shaping the insulation boards around the corners. Where window openings allow, to prevent cold bridging, a thinner insulation board can be used on window and door reveals and finished to match the walls. Movement joints should be installed at agreed locations. Where replicating structural movement joints, a minimum 6 mm gap should be left between the insulation boards. The movement joint should then be installed directly in line to allow for any structural movement. For areas where it would be difficult to fix Weatherby's unique profiled EPSI brick mesh, for example at narrow reveals and soldier courses, pre-treat the areas with Weatherby scrim adhesive and scrim cloth, ideally prior to the application of the mesh. It's also good practice to install additional reinforcing scrim patches wherever required. The profiled EPSI brick mesh is installed over the insulation, held in place using temporary fir tree fixings. EPSI brick mesh sheets should be cut precisely around skimmed soldier course areas, openings and existing features. Once alignment is considered satisfactory, permanent steel fixings are installed through the insulation and into the substrate to hold the mesh and the underlying insulation in place. Always use a spirit level or laser guide to carry out this operation. The distance between corners and outer edges should be measured to identify the number of bricks required per course and the subsequent width of the vertical pointing joint. Any half brick sizes should be staggered throughout the courses. The Weatherby brick slip adhesive should be mixed to a pliable consistency for 3 to 5 minutes, left to settle for approximately 5 minutes, and remixed before use. Start by buttering the back of the pistils. These should be applied to all corners and reveals, with bricks easily cut to size using a bench saw or standard tile cutter. Always try to leave a 5 mm gap at door and window reveals to allow for expansion or movement in the frame. Butter the back of the brick slips and place into the mesh, ensuring consistent spacing. Install any soldier courses to the pre-treated areas using the brick slip adhesive. A level or straight edge should be used to ensure the slips are installed completely plain. Once all slips have been installed, it is important to leave them to set for approximately 24 hours before applying pointing mortar. When pointing, mix the pointing mortar and apply using a pointing gun. Smooth out the joints using a pointing trowel to the desired style. Be sure to clean off any material that may have accidentally splashed onto adjacent surfaces, including the brick face. Weatherby products can be very difficult to remove once set and contain pigments which may stain if left to dry. When the wall is completely dry, a stiff brush can be used to remove any excess mortar. Apply Weatherby EvoStick 25-year silicone sealant around openings, at system abutments, and to all areas required to ensure no water ingress occurs. Architectural features such as coins and soldier courses can also be created with brick slips to complement Weatherby render systems. Your EPSI Brick 15 insulated render system is complete.